Next, the plot analysis of the 90th episode of Xian in Verse begins. After Zizong established his power, Wang Lin finally met Tianyun Sect. Originally, the old man only promised to accept him as a famous disciple for 100 years, however, in terms of the strength Wang Lin has shown now, it did make him change his mind. Would you like to worship me as a teacher, cultivate the avenue of heaven, and become a true disciple of my heavenly luck? The disciple Wang Lin has seen the master. Afterwards, he looked at Wang Lin with a look of charity in his eyes. If you don't release the spirit of your fifth senior sister, if it's too late, wouldn't it be that there is another disciple missing as a teacher? The elder sister's spirit can be released, but the other two are disrespectful to me, and they really can't. Tianyun Sect smiled dumbly when he heard this, and finally agreed to his unreasonable request. Then, a purple light flew out suddenly, fell 10 feet away, and turned into the figure of the woman. It's just that as soon as the woman appeared, she rushed directly at Wang Lin angrily. Enough! As soon as these words came out, the woman's spirit collapsed in an instant, and she was put in her sleeve by Tianyun Sect with a wave. This operation immediately scared Wang Lin's pupils away, and he took a breath of cool air. All stand down, Wang Lin stays. As soon as the voice fell, all the disciples of Zizong bowed and retreated one after another. Today, Wang Lin's figure was also completely reversed in their hearts. This is not only the reason for identity, but also the powerful strength. At this time in Wang Lin's heart, the power of Tianyun Sect had completely exceeded his cognition that he even secretly compared Tianyun Sect with Situnan, but no matter how the result was compared, Tianyun Sect won. After all, Situnan hadn't been able to reach the level where he shattered one person's spirit with a single word. In fact, this is no longer considered a magical power, but a proper fairy technique. This immortal art is divided into 4 levels: lower grade, middle grade, upper grade, and best grade. The 3 tricks that Situnan taught him, if you get to the bottom of it, can also be considered immortal, because this is what Situnan imitated by himself from a remnant lower grade immortal technique. But because he practiced the magic way, these 3 types of killing moves also had magic properties. At this time, Tianyun Sect was looking at the word Lin in Zilin Pavilion, silent for a long time. Wang Lin didn't know the temper of the Blessed One, so he could only stay quietly by his side. What a word, Lin, not bad. Looking at this word, a rebellious aura is about to penetrate. Presumably there must be someone around you who cultivates the magic way, and getting along with you for a long time makes you naturally contaminated with the aura of the magic way. Although Wang Lin was shocked when he heard this, his head turned quickly. He discovered that the immortal demon body of the second brother was clearly not cultivated by the Renegade Sect, and immediately told him the truth about the separation between himself and Situnan on the way. It's not that he doesn't want to lie, but that he is afraid that Tianyun Sect will see the clues. 3 months later is Tianyun Sect's birthday. At that time, many great supernatural people will participate. The day when he is officially accepted as an apprentice is naturally set for this day. After Gong sent Tianyun Sect away, Wang Lin walked into Zilin Pavilion. I have gained a foothold in this lucky sect. It seems that I can't avoid it too much here. On the contrary, domineering people can survive better. At present, after passing the 3 levels of entry, Wang Lin Xiuwei has also reached the peak of the early stage of infant transformation. Not only has his artistic conception been sublimated, but he is not far from the middle stage of breakthrough. But the biggest problem that bothers him now is the number of fairy jade. Nowadays, in Tianyuxing, it is not as easy to grab it as in Suzukuxing. After pondering for a while, the only thing Wang Lin can do now is to meditate and vomit. At this time, Zhao Xingsha's face was extremely ugly in the Zixing Pavilion in the eastern part of Zizong. This person has followed Tianyun Sect for more than 2,000 years and knows his temperament extremely well. Based on the 2 points that Wang Lin did not go to the ancestral pavilion to worship and teach to save his life, he concluded that his birthday in 3 months would be a huge test given by Tianyun Sect. This person cares very much about the title of one of the 7 sons of Tianyun. He is now thinking about his opponents and those who can unite, and finally came to the conclusion that only the 2nd younger brother and the 4th younger sister can unite. However, there is also a tricky opponent, the 6th younger brother who once lost to Sun Yun. Although this person's cultivation base has been successful, he has been experiencing it outside after his title was taken away. If this person comes back this time, then all this will become a bubble. At this time, Bai Wei in Ziwei Pavilion in the western part of Zizong was quite calm that he could vaguely feel that the encounter with Wang Lin and Jiao Yixing should be stronger than it is now, but he didn't know what caused it. Early the next morning, Wang Lin looked into the distance and muttered the word Xianyu to himself. However, at this moment, Bai Wei actually helped him get a clothing token to visit, and she also wanted to explain to Wang Lin the story of Zaizongshan. The elder brother is kind, and he understands it in his heart. There is no need to do this. He still has to practice in the next life. The third elder brother should change his day. In Wang Lin's opinion, Bai Wei was very weird, and when he came into contact with her, he always felt extremely uncomfortable. Seventh brother, Bai Mao is not malicious, but this subline is complicated and complicated. Bai Mao thought about it all night last night, and then he made up his mind to tell you. Do you really don't want to hear it? As soon as Wang Lin heard that you were a strange person, he immediately compromised and wanted to hear about it. As everyone knows, Bai Wei didn't talk about Zaizongshan when she came up, but directly questioned Tianyun. You must know that Tianyun belongs to the great supernatural powers. He has been in Tianyun for tens of thousands of years, but his disciples have only practiced for about 1,000 years, but few have exceeded 10,000 years. That he even suspected that Sun Yun's defection to the division was bound to be related to this matter. Third brother, since this matter is inconclusive, it's better not to guess indiscriminately. Wang Lin has also thought about this issue, but he doesn't want to talk about it on the bright side. Seeing that he was unmoved, Bai Wei went directly to the topic. 3 months later, on the birthday of the master, it will be the day when the title of the seventh son of Tianyun will reappear in my family. This time, the big brother is imperative. Unless Lao Lu comes back from outside experience, otherwise, you, an outsider, will definitely be the one he destroys. At first, the title of Seven Sons of Tianyun seemed to Wang Lin to be nothing more than a false name, but under Bai Wei's explanation, he gradually became interested in the matter, what this and that, even helping to break through the Pearl of Victory. He didn't listen to it, until he heard that once he became the seventh son of Tianyun, the immortal jade in the entire Tianyun would be infinitely supplied. Wang Lin's eyes directly appeared green light. This is simply a pillow given to someone when they are sleepy, but it's not over yet. Becoming the seventh son of Tianyun will not only have immortal jade, but will also be taught a complete lower-grade immortal technique by Tianyun. Being the seventh son of 1,000-year-old heavenly luck will teach the next immortal art. Are you serious? When Bai Wei heard this, without saying a word, she immediately told him many cases. Third brother, I'm tired, he will go to visit after more than a day. Seeing that the effect had been achieved, Bai Wei did not continue to entangle, but after he left Ziyun Pavilion, his expression suddenly became gloomy. Big brother, you want to be the seventh son of Tianyun. As long as I, Bai Wei, live for one day, it will never be possible for you to succeed. I want you to fail every time, so that you can get revenge for what you did to me back then. After Wang Lin learned of the benefits of becoming the seventh son of Tianyun, he was also quite shocked, especially the complete lower-grade immortal technique that moved him even more. You must know that although the 3-style killing moves he has mastered now are extremely powerful, they are only imitated by Situ Nan with the remnant immortal technique, and from here it can be seen how terrifying a complete fairy technique will be. Nowadays, with Wang Lin's knowledge of cultivating immortals, he only knows that the ancient god's supernatural powers can still be used against him, but the requirements for the use of that thing are quite strict, and the cultivation base of the deity cannot be used at all. If you want to compete for the title of the Seven Sons of Fortune, your cultivation base must reach the middle stage of infancy. On this lucky star, I, Wang Lin, want to be a domineering person. From the previous battle, Wang Lin can see that this is not Taoguang's obscure place. If he shows weakness, I am afraid that he may immediately be stepped on by others, and even Tianyun just turned a blind eye to this kind of behavior. Turn a blind eye. In that case, what kind of step can Wang Lin take in the Heavenly Luck Sect? As long as he doesn't touch the bottom line of the Heavenly Luck Sect, everything can be done here as he pleases. After that, Wang Lin's figure flashed directly and headed towards Zizong Tingling Pavilion. This pavilion is located on a huge platform in Zaizongshan. It is where the disciples of the sect receive the pill spirit stone daily. Looking around, there was a man sitting cross-legged outside Pinling Pavilion. This man had concentrated all his mind on the long sword in front of him. This person's cultivation base is the great perfection of the late stage of the transformation of gods, but there is a deep hidden sword intent in this person. Wang Lin stood dozens of feet away from Pinling Pavilion and looked at him calmly. For a short time, the man opened his eyes, and when he saw him, he put away his long sword and greeted him respectfully. Disciple Zhang Xiangfan has seen the seventh master ancestor. Can you lend me a look at your flying sword? Zhang Xiangfan was taken aback when he heard the words, but he still took out the long sword. After Wang Lin took a closer look at the long sword, he couldn't help but tremble slightly. The trace of sword intent in it actually made him feel extremely familiar. Zhou. If it weren't for Wang Lin's perennial perception of the pagoda given by Zhou, he would really not have discovered it. When Zhou turned into a sword soul and chased Ling Tian, there was no news after he left. After Wang Lin was silent for a while, he directly took out the sword intent without saying a word, and replaced it with a jade sword with 18 prohibitions. Thank you, seventh master ancestor. Zhang Xiangfan has cultivated so far, and he naturally has a lot of knowledge. He found that these are not only attack restrictions, but also can be superimposed. Even if it is printed on any middle and lower grade flying sword, it can increase its power several times. I am here to collect the immortal jade. The seven masters and ancestors, there will be a quota of 100 pieces of fairy jade every month. You give me the token and I will open the teleportation for you. Under Zhang Xiangfan's operation, it didn't take long for a huge light gate to appear. Wang Lin didn't hesitate at all, and walked in directly with the token. Whoever wanted to enter this gate of light, but it was as if they had come to a fairyland. At this moment, in the air, a huge figure formed by the fusion of clouds appeared. Token. When Wang Lin heard this, he threw it over without thinking about it. Just listening to the bang, the token instantly turned into a little golden light and merged into the giant's body. The seventh son of the clan, he hasn't been to the fairy realm for 103 years. Do you want to take it all out at once? Wang Lin was taken aback when he heard this. Even with his determination, he couldn't help but feel shaken at this moment. Take it all out. A total of 123,600 yuan. I saw pieces of fairy jade piled up 10 feet in front of Wang Lin in an instant. Wang Lin stared straight at the hill made of fairy jade, and couldn't help feeling dry-mouthed that he never expected that the Tianyun Sect would actually use the pit to calculate the immortal jade. And he couldn't figure out why there were so many immortal jade in the Tianyun Sect that should be extremely rare. Afterwards, with excitement, Wang Lin waved his trembling hand and quickly put it away. At this moment, he was touching the storage bag, and there was still a sense of unreal illusory in his mind that it's no wonder that others would treat Wang Lin as an indigenous monk. At the moment just now, the more than 100,000 immortal jade had completely made him jealous. At that time, no matter who came to stop it, he would choose to do it without hesitation. At this time, as the giant dissipated, the recondensed token flew directly towards Wang Lin. The moment he held the token, an invisible force sent him out. Wang Lin galloped all the way, and returned to Xiling Pavilion after a short time. Although Xianyu is enough, it still has to be fully absorbed within 3 months. As long as the cultivation base reaches the middle stage of infancy, it is considered that there is a real chance to compete for the title of the Seven Sons of Tianyun. However, at this moment, his fourth senior sister, who was in the late stage of infancy, came to the door at this moment. At the same time, as the void flashed, Zhao Xingsha also walked out with a gentle expression. Of course, there was also the second brother who was beaten up by Wang Lin, who also showed his figure. Even the three of them invited 2 masters of the late stage of infancy to come. Seeing that the situation was not good, Wang Lin naturally put his right hand on the storage bag. Lao Qi, I was entrusted by others and had to take action. Please forgive me. Forbidden art, move. I saw a silver light, which instantly covered all the surrounding 10 miles. In a flash, Wang Lin and the woman suddenly disappeared in place and disappeared. When they reappeared, the two had already arrived in a stone forest hundreds of thousands of miles away from Tianyun Sect. the supernatural power of the fourth senior sister's movement opened Wang Lin's eyes. In fact, when this woman was using her supernatural powers, Wang Lin already felt that the surrounding space could not teleport at all. In addition, the other four of them have also completely locked her in. Several people joined forces, but Wang Lin didn't dare to move, so he simply let the other party move. Lao Chi, if you fancy this magical power of senior sister, when these things are over, I will pass this magical power to you, but now I hope you will wait here quietly for 3 years, and I will come and release you in 3 years. Wang Lin heard the words and looked around. Obviously, this is a formation restriction, but for Wang Lin, it's all a trick. In a mere formation, does the senior sister think she can be trapped? Having said that, Wang Lin quickly shot a white light at a strange stone, but after a bang, the feedback passed back made him suddenly dumbfounded. Junior brother, this formation is arranged by the big brother. If he is not absolutely sure, how can he safely trap you here, so you still don't have to work hard? After that, as soon as he moved, he turned into a silver light and walked away into the distance. In order to repay Zhao Xingsha's favor back then, she was really helpless to do so. At this time, Wang Lin had tried several methods, trying to escape from the sky, but he was always stopped by an inexplicable resistance, and even the immortal sword and scimitar, which had never been profitable before, couldn't get out. If you want to trap me here and let me out after the battle for the title of the 7 Sons of Heaven is over, how can I let them do what they want? Since this place is desolate, I will practice here and strive to reach the middle stage of infancy as soon as possible. At that time, I will be able to break through here and go directly to Tianyun Sect. After that, he went straight to the depths of the stone forest here. After running for a long time, Wang Lin finally found the boundary of the stone forest. The prohibition here was carefully designed by Zhao Xingsha specifically for him to prevent Wang Lin from competing with him for the position of the 7th Son of Heaven. Wang Lin has also tried many times to break the ban, but all ended in failure. But Zhao Xingsha's scheming was exhausted, but he didn't expect Wang Lin to make a breakthrough. Now, which is why he went to Pinling Pavilion to collect the immortal jade. At this time, I saw Wang Lin sitting cross-legged on the ground, constantly absorbing the immortal power of Xianyu. As time passed a little bit, he seemed to have forgotten the concept of time. 3 months later, the birthday of the old man Tianyun Sect, who loved his birthday, has already arrived. When it comes to his 10,000-year birthday, no one knows how many times he has passed it, but without exception, the entire Tianyun star will be in prosperity on this day. Even the Cultivation Alliance will send envoys to send gifts, even if it is a 7th-level cultivation star. Few people can win this award, and the main people will not go to spend their birthdays in leisure. At this moment, almost every one of Tianyun Sect's 7 disciples is busy. Moreover, a month ago, a large number of living places were opened up separately for people who practice the true star to easily communicate and talk with people from other sects. This is the first time I have met Master's birthday banquet, and I will definitely be able to make a lot of friends by then, especially the young master of the Yunluo sect. This person is not weak in cultivation, but he also has a similar temperament to me. At this time, the 7 sons of Tianyun in the purple line had already become something in the bag in Zhao Xingsha's eyes. Now that the 2nd child has given up, and the 3rd child has not put it in his eyes at all, if the 4th child intends to compete, he will naturally have a way to settle it. The 5th was punished by Tianyun Sect and has been sent to Tianyu retreat for 100 years. Although Lao Lu is strong, he has been out and experienced for many years, and the day of his return is far away. Wang Lin was even trapped by him in a stone forest hundreds of thousands of miles away. Red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, each of these 7 sects has a place for a birthday banquet. In addition, in the place of the patriarch, it is the real birthday banquet of Tianyun Sect. People who can sit down there are naturally by no means idle. In the stone forest, Wang Lin's whole body was shrouded at this time, in a thick layer of breath. Seeing that he was a little empty, the breath suddenly spread to the surroundings. With a series of roars, wherever they went, the stone forest had been turned into lime and scattered in the air. Immediately afterwards, the breath was like a funnel, quickly recovered, and penetrated into Wang Lin's body. Zizong, I'm here. As soon as Wang Lin stepped on his feet, he instantly came hundreds of feet in the air. where he is at this moment is the highest point magic value that he rose to 3 months ago that I saw a purple flame appear on the index finger of his right hand in an instant, and a monstrous demon aura suddenly enveloped all within a radius of 10 miles that at this time, Wang Lin's whole body revealed a magical power, as if the devil was born. At the moment when the stillness touched the flame, it burned frantically. Obviously, he is now in the middle of infancy and transformation, and he is more than several times more powerful than when he used this magical power before. Now that the ban has been broken, the first thing is to rush back to Tianyun as soon as possible, but he, who was already unfamiliar with life, really couldn't figure out which direction he should go at this time. Then Wang Lin's eyes flashed, and suddenly a soul streamer appeared in his hand, Chao Ido. I saw that under the trembling of the soul streamer, a primordial god immediately flew out of it. The primordial god looked around for a while, and his eyes suddenly brightened. This is Tianyun Star. When he knew that Chao Ido was a person of Tianyun Star, Wang Lin changed his mind and promised to find a baby body for him, so that he would willingly become a guide. Chao Ido, do you know the way from here to Tianyun? About 300,000 miles west of this place is the Tianyun mountain gate. When Wang Lin heard this, without saying a word, he directly put away Chao Ido and galloped away like thunder. Recalling that as soon as he entered the Tianyun Sect, his descendants targeted him everywhere, just because he didn't want to make too many enemies, so he endured and endured, let go and let go. Although he didn't hold back in the end and raised his profile slightly, it can be regarded as a change in the situation. But Zhao Xinsha and others actually used external pressure to move them out of Zizong and trapped them in the stone forest that if it weren't for his breakthrough, and he happened to get a large amount of fairy jade, I am afraid that in many years, his life and death would be completely in the hands of others. Wang Lin said, if a person does not commit me, I am not a prisoner. But if a person commits me, he will kill people that I am this way. Wang Lin ran wildly all the way, and finally arrived at Tianyun Sect in the afternoon of the next day. At this moment, there are banquets everywhere in the mountains of the 7 sects of Tianyun Sect, which is not lively. At the banquet in Zaizongshan, the eldest brother Zhao Xingsha naturally sat in the main seat. On his left side were several descendants, and on his right were the elders of the 6 sects of Tianyun. Today is the 7th day of the Master's 10,000-year birthday banquet, and tomorrow will be the time when the Master preaches. Everyone, if there is anything wrong with the hospitality of my children and grandchildren in these days, I hope you don't mind. However, just as everyone picked up their wine glasses, suddenly a Changhong rushed straight to this place from the distant horizon. When Zhao Xingsha saw Wang Lin, his expression suddenly became difficult to see. However, Erlangzi, the second child next to him, flashed his figure and greeted him directly. On the great day of my Tianyun, anyone who breaks into the city will be killed without mercy. Good fellow, before Wang Lin made a sound, he directly deducted a sin first that I saw a mass of yellow light flickering, and it immediately turned into a large area of sand, rushing like a swarm of bees. Upon seeing this, Wang Lin turned his hand over in an instant, and waved a black hurricane in front of him. Provoke me twice, don't kill you. It's not Wang Lin. Having said that, the immortal power in his body suddenly reversed, and a trace of magic fire appeared at his fingertips. Because the second son had suffered a loss on this, he subconsciously took a few steps back. Lao Qi, today is the birthday banquet of the Master. With so many Taoist friends present, don't be presumptuous. Wang Lin glanced at the monks around, and when he saw that no one wanted to help, he let go. However, in case the dick shit-stirring stick was confusing right and wrong, he still chose to prevent it first. Fellow Taoists, today is the battle for the succession of my Zizong clan. If outsiders participate, don't blame me for the Tianyun to pursue it in the future. Zhao Xingsha saw Wang Lin's murderous intent, stepped forward, and came to the second son. Wang Qi returned to the throne, and his descendants are fighting for it, not today. Wang Lin didn't even look at him, and threw the magic fire directly over. At the moment it was thrown out, its magic flames suddenly increased violently, as if it was monstrous. People of all sects around, well informed, recognized the source of the flame at a glance, and then there were endless discussions. Great freedom between heaven and earth. I saw a halo suddenly appeared on the right hand of the self-shining star demon, and immediately shone the magic flame. who expected it to be right in Wang Lin's arms. Not only did he hear a loud noise, a magical aura that only those who cultivate demons possessed instantly vented out, and the aura also burned to ashes at this time and disappeared. Zhao Xingsha and the second son retreated quickly without hesitation, and even the monks of all sects who were still at the banquet retreated 1,000 feet away. The immortal sword and the scimitar were immediately sacrificed at the same time, and they killed the second man, sacrificing the immortal demon body. As soon as the immortal demon body opened, it instantly turned into a cloud of black mist and galloped away into the distance. The scimitar was fast, and the immortal sword took a step, and in a blink of an eye, he caught up with the black mist and slashed him in pieces. At this moment, even Wang Lin was already holding it in his hand. Master's birthday today. If you kill me, you will definitely be expelled from the sect by Master. Just hearing a snap, this person's spirit was directly whipped out of the black mist by Wang Lin. Without saying a word, he immediately grabbed the spirit and threw it into the soul streamer. Then he turned around and looked at Zhao Xingsha, who had been watching not far away. You are next. Facing Wang Lin's threat, Zhao Xingsha suddenly laughed. Lao Qi, you have already caused a catastrophe by killing your second son. I don't need to take action. Where is the law enforcement elder? Capture this person and hand it over to the master. When several law enforcement elders around heard the words, they all looked hesitant, but they just looked at each other, stunned that no one had taken a step. Whoever stops Wang Lin today is the enemy below. After that, Wang Lin took a step forward and walked directly across 100 feet to Zhao Xingsha. Upon seeing this, Zhao Xingsha felt cold in his heart and hurriedly asked for help from the fourth junior sister beside him, but the other party didn't even think about it, and directly refused his request. Originally, she owed Zhao Xingsha a favor, but she was entrusted by him 3 months ago to forcibly move Wang Lin to Shilin and paid it off. She even promised that she would never snatch the title of the seventh son of Tianyun from him. Lao Qi, I originally planned to use this bead when I was fighting for the seventh child of Tianyun, but now that you are forcing me, I will let you see the power of this stone in advance. After speaking, he pinched his hands and said a spell in his mouth. At this moment, Wang Lin also took the gloomy soul streamer in his hand, and with a shake, the few remaining main soul rushed directly towards Zhao Xingsha. At the same time, the shooting god car number 2 has also been prepared in advance. At this moment, a huge phantom of a monster appeared behind Zhao Xingsha. As soon as this thing appeared, the monks of all sects around were shocked. Ancient demon. This person's name is Jiang Tianzuan. He is the elder of Shuyunmen. He has the strength to win the late stage. He has been here for 7 days without saying a word. This time, he was shocked. However, what he said about the ancient demon was only speculation, and it could not be fully confirmed. At this time, although the main souls saw this monster, they still rushed towards Zhao Xingsha, but seeing Zhao Xingsha and the monster, he raised his hand and lit it in the void at the same time. Then, a breath that was not half as bad as fairy power and magic power quickly spread, its demon power. Jiang Tianzuan thus completed the identification. There is no doubt that this is an ancient demon. At this moment, where Zhao Xingsha pointed, a red whirlpool immediately appeared. As the whirlpool turned, the main souls flew in uncontrollably. Upon seeing this, Wang Lin didn't say a word, and immediately wrapped it in a soul streamer and pulled it out. At this moment, the monster actually roared and opened his eyes abruptly. His gaze was several times colder than that of a person who had cultivated the ruthless Tao, and even 3 points colder than that of a monk who had cultivated the unfeeling technique. At the same time, the monster also stretched out a giant hand and grabbed Wang Lin. Upon seeing this, Wang Lin quickly retreated to the camera car and stood on it a little bit. Immediately afterwards, the unyielding soul beast of the immortal demon of heaven and earth rushed out immediately, and after roaring, he slammed directly into the monster. In spite of everything that I saw, that the soul beast got into the monster's body without hindrance, but unexpectedly, Shao Qing was caught out by the monster. However, when he was about to open his mouth to inhale, there was a shout from a distance, "Evil beast, stop the old man." As soon as these words came out, the monster trembled, turned into a golden light of qi, and returned to Zhao Xingsha's eyebrows. After the soul beast was let go, he also returned to the god-taking car and disappeared. At this time, a red cloud surged, and finally turned into an old man who was full of alcohol. What kind of fight? If it weren't for you to fight around, Lao Tzu could be kicked over by the immortal Tianyuan and teach you disciples, causing Lao Tzu to drink half of his wine. Wang Lin grabbed the animal circle and came to the fourth senior sister in one step. Zhao Xingsha was very respectful when he saw the visitor at this time. Disciples, see Uncle Blazing. Do you know me? How could Zhao Xingsha let go of this opportunity to get up close and personal with the big brother, and quickly replied, I met once when I worshipped Tianyun Sect. It's useless to know. The demon spirit in your body has just been transformed, so you can use it forcibly, waiting to be punished by your master. After Blazing finished speaking, he looked at Wang Lin with great interest, and revealed to him that Tianyun had high hopes for him, and even promised that Zhao Xingsha would not be allowed to appear in this title fight. Everyone, there must be some of you who know the old way. Today's fight between the juniors of the Zizong sect has ruined your elegance. I hope you don't take offense. Senior, I've been thinking too much. How can I wait for Yaxing to be broken? It should be said that I saw the fighting methods of several of them, and I felt very relieved. The Tianyun sect is in the same line, and there will be no successors. This flattering slap, almost all the monks agreed one by one. After a few polite words, Blazing grabbed Zhao Xingsha and disappeared in a flash. Almost all cultivators are old and refined people. As soon as the Blazing front foot left, many people came to toast Wang Lin on the back foot. In their eyes, Wang Lin must be one of the 7 sons of Tianyun in the future. If he sets up some friendship at this moment, he may not be able to get some benefits in the future. Of course, Wang Lin is also well aware of the principle of multiple friends and multiple paths. When the banquet was about to disperse, he set his sights on the fourth senior sister. Fourth senior sister, I wonder when the art of moving will be passed on to the younger brother. When the fourth elder heard this, he first expressed his deep apologies for the previous incident. In addition to the removal of the forbidden law, he also gave Wang Lin a forbidden law. This forbidden method was taught to him by Tianyun that year. Although it was only imitated from a low-level immortal technique, it was indeed very powerful. As a last resort, in fact, Wang Lin didn't want to make enemies with others. After accepting it, he said a few polite words and left directly. In Xilin Pavilion, Wang Lin couldn't wait to study this technique of movement in a secret room. After a long time, although he had already understood the truth and method, he found some disadvantages. If one doesn't play well, this thing can easily send itself into the cracks in the space. Then there is the fact that although the moving distance is far away, it cannot be located. Where it is sent depends on the mood. Even at that time, the strength of the fourth child in the late stage of infancy was comparable to that of the fourth child, but in any case, this was also a means of saving his life, and Wang Lin immediately decided to give it a try. 100,000 miles away, on a mountain peak, a loud noise came suddenly, and as the ash flew away, Wang Lin walked out full of dirt. This experiment was quite successful, but it just accidentally hit the mountain. The forbidden art of this great movement is really powerful. I was right about this lucky star. If I were still in Suzaku Star, how could I learn this kind of magical power? At such a long distance, I am afraid that only monks can use it. After that, Wang Lin found a remote place nearby and studied the second forbidden law. The name of this method is the 9-turn refining immortal technique, which can change the mode of operation of the immortal power in the body. The longer the immortal power is transported in the body, the greater the power after leaving the body. However, this is always an imitation product, and in the state of its last 9 revolutions, it is only a genuine 3 revolutions. If Wang Lin's cultivation base hadn't changed to an infant, he would still be the original mortal fetus, and he would naturally not be able to practice immortal arts. Now that he has been scrubbed by immortal power, he has achieved the immortal body and refreshed his talents. Although he is not the best in the eyes of others, Wang Lin is already extremely satisfied. The cultivation of spells has a great relationship with the spiritual roots of talent, which is why Wang Lin focused on magic weapons instead of spells before. In this way, he had successfully completed the 3 turns in a few hours. It's just that the golden immortal power that comes out of the cultivation of this technique is completely incompatible with the original white. These 9-turn refining immortal tactics, the refined immortal power is also interesting, but I don't know how powerful it is. After that, he used the technique of great movement and disappeared in place. However, this time he accurately returned to Zizong without hitting any objects. On this day, all the direct disciples of the 7 sects of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple worshipped forward. Wang Lin stood there with a dull expression on his face, and glanced coldly at the other 6 sects. In addition to being surprised by the strength of these people, he also met an acquaintance. This person was a middle-aged man who had fought against the Red Tiger and gushed out of evil spirits. Yunzong is indeed powerful this day. This day Yunzong is indeed powerful, just these disciples, except for my subline, any line is enough to sweep Suzaku's star. Even if Suzaku has a title and a knighthood, I am afraid he will lose. After all the direct disciples arrived, they were followed by ordinary disciples in the 7 series. However, among these disciples, only those who are talented or advanced in cultivation will be qualified to hear the Tao up close. On the outermost side, there are those who come to celebrate their birthday. When you hear the Tao, regardless of your status, anyone who celebrates your birthday can hear the Tao here. Gradually, as there were more and more people, almost all of them were filled with monks within a radius of tens of thousands of miles. The old man Tianyun has been cultivating for a long time and has a little sense of the way of heaven. Today, he will share some of the old man's insights with the Taoists. The way of the old man is to believe in heavenly luck. If there is any fallacy, I hope to forgive me. At this moment, Dan saw that within tens of thousands of miles of the sky, golden rays of light suddenly appeared. Then in the golden light, a middle-aged man with a 3-eyed sable lying on his shoulder gradually walked out. This person has a very high level of cultivation, and his arrival represents the Cultivation Alliance. It turned out to be Elder Sunday. Tianyun had seen Elder Sunday. The old man's birthday banquet was a trivial matter, but he didn't expect Elder Sun to come in a clone. It was an honor. Although Tianyun's tone was respectful, he didn't move. Obviously he was just polite. The man didn't mind, and threw a golden sword directly at Tianyun. I came in a hurry. There is no good gift. This flying sword is a high-grade immortal weapon. I have condensed it for thousands of years, and finally it still has some power. I know you like the 7 colors. This golden sword is also considered a yellow light, and it should be in line with your heart. However, Tianyun smiled slightly, took the flying sword, and gave it directly to his disciple without saying a word. Elder Sun saw that the old man's temper was still the same as before, and shook his head with a wry smile. Just as the hearing was about to begin, suddenly, the little mink on Elder Sun's shoulder disappeared in a flash. This thing is so fast. Wang Lin couldn't help being taken aback when he saw this. He thought to himself that this speed can only be compared with the scimitar when it is fully utilized. However, just as he was contemplating, his shoulders suddenly sank, and the little sculpture actually appeared on his shoulders, lying there, with a strange light in his eyes, staring at Wang Lin motionless. Star mark carving, young star mark. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed, and he was able to recognize it thanks to Natus memory. This sculpture is a strange thing in the starry sky, and it is the best puppet magical material. As an adult, the star mark carving can be transformed into everything in the world, which is very powerful. Although he didn't have much attack power when he was young, he was indeed extremely fast. In the age of the ancient gods, the star mark carving was the best pet, and it was loved by the ancient gods. Similarly, star mark carving also likes the breath of the young ancient god very much. This breath is of great benefit to him, and it often makes him actively approach. As the ancient god grows, he can also absorb a lot of spiritual power and promote his own growth at the same time. In addition, this carving likes gold jewelry the most. Although it absorbs the breath of the ancient gods more slowly than it does, it can also make him gradually grow. At this time, although Wang Lin's body also had the aura of an ancient god, it was extremely weak. When he is combined with the deity, there will naturally be some remnants, but after a long time, it will completely dissipate. But at this moment, Wang Lin couldn't expose the deity, so he took out a high-grade spirit stone casually, but the heartmark carving was unmoved, and he didn't even look at it. With a smile in Wang Lin's eyes, he put away the spirit stone and took out a piece of fairy jade. Finally, he took a bite to his satisfaction and returned to Elder Sun's shoulder. However, while gnawing on the fairy jade, he glanced at Wang Lin from time to time, especially on his storage bag, paying more attention to it. At this time, Tianyun sat cross-legged on the auspicious clouds and began to preach. According to him, the source of supernatural powers can be roughly divided into the word cultivation. From Reiki to winning, it can be summarized as cultivation, which is the first step, after the victory, the two meanings of reality, and the three steps of broken thoughts can be summarized as Tao, which is the second step. You know, there are many people who have won the above here at this time, just. When someone asked about the third step, Tianyun's answer silenced everyone. This third step is the true meaning of the word Tao. It has been cultivated for countless generations, only for those who seek the Tao. Once the truth is cultivated, it can reach an incredible height, but the old man doesn't know how to practice it. At this time, Wang Lin's eyes were thoughtful, and he carefully tasted Tianyun's words that he didn't understand. Even Tianyun didn't know, so does this third part really exist? Wang Lin, do you have any questions? The disciple doubted whether there was really a third part. The old man, like you 30,000 years ago, has never believed that there is a third part of monasticism, but I met him. At this moment, even elder son on the side couldn't help but look ugly when he heard him. Those great supernatural powers also all asked one after another, who is he? That's enough, don't mention Tianyun again. That I am very fortunate that in my lifetime, when I was confused, he appeared, and this person has definitely entered the third step. Wang Lin, like everyone else, stared at Tianyun, waiting for his next post. After elder son was silent for a while, he sighed softly, and stopped blocking. The Cultivation Alliance has only suffered once in the hands of this person for countless years, and this matter is no big deal. He is the only person I have ever met in my life who has stepped into the third step. Unfortunately, this person is a flash in the pan and there is no news. In this sermon, most of the monks' thoughts were all on him. It's just that Tianyun never talked about it, leaving others to guess. At the same time, the sermon was successfully concluded 3 days later. After the old man Wang Yenisho's sermon, he will give you an enlightenment that I am now using a medium-grade immortal technique, and you Taoists can understand as much as you can. As soon as the voice fell, the displeasure in almost everyone's eyes suddenly turned to expectation. You must know that there are too few immortal arts, especially middle-grade immortal arts, which are even rarer. Wang Lin also took a deep breath at this time, and looked at Tianyun intently. It's hard for me. I haven't seen a real immortal technique until now. The highest I have ever seen is just a swordsmanship imitated from the lower-grade immortal technique. It's just that. Just when everyone was waiting intently for the heavenly luck to be displayed, they saw that the sky was full of sword lights like countless meteors, and they were frantically cathartic. Many monks with insufficient cultivation skills saw this and gave way one after another. Then an old man wearing tsing-yi appeared in front of everyone with a serpentine sword on his feet. Old man Tianyun, how can the old man not come on your birthday? Although this old man is thin, he gives people a kind of heavenly shock, especially the serpentine sword under his feet, the murder weapon exuding, is even more terrifying. There are also many well-informed monks around who recognize this person at a glance. Jian Zun Ling Tian Ho. However, at this time, Wang Lin stared at the serpentine sword with cold eyes. He recognized at a glance that this sword was the second sword of Uchiha that was robbed by Xingsheng in the immortal realm. At this time, Ling Tianho's face showed a trace of gloom, and he suddenly shouted, "Disciples, I have come out to see you, Senior Tianyun." As soon as the voice fell, a series of bangs suddenly sounded, and the sky was clear of fog behind him. Immediately afterwards, countless disciples with flying swords gradually appeared as the fog dissipated. At this time, Ling Tianho saw that Tianyun didn't say a word, so he laughed loudly. "Why, old Tianyun doesn't welcome the old man? You must know that the sword master Ling Tianho, as the patriarch of the Daoyuo sword sect, has a very high cultivation level. On the celestial star, his martial strength is second only to the existence of the heavenly luck sect." Although Tianyun didn't want to confront him head-on at this moment, he thought of a better way. "It's just that, the time for you to come today is very good, so I will use you as the object of the immortal art, so that you Taoists can observe one or two, okay?" Ling Tianho's eyes flashed with cold light, and there was no ink, so he responded on the spot without saying a word. Seeing that the conspiracy had succeeded, Tianyun raised the corner of his mouth lightly, so he directly pinched the fairy trick, after a while, a red light gradually condensed in his hand, and then he raised his left hand to bear the seal again, and the red light suddenly became bigger and brighter. According to Tianyun Sect, this technique was unintentionally obtained by him on an abandoned planet. Under his research, he found that it was used by Monk Du, a man from the immortal realm, when he went to the immortal realm. This technique is called the hidden immortal technique. Once it is used, it will have great supernatural powers. Spiritual power. I saw Tianyun Sect immediately let go of the red light in his hand and went straight to the sky. Suddenly, the entire sky immediately appeared in a red color. In an instant, a heavenly power descended, and some monks were unable to support it. They fell down from the air one after another. At this time, the immortal power in Wang Lin's body was gradually chaotic, as if there was some kind of magical power pulling, but only the three-turn golden immortal power that he had just mastered was unmoved. Then he flashed his inspiration and let it flow all over his body, isolating the power involved. Now the entire subline, except for him and the fourth senior sister, has all fallen down, and the direct disciples of the other 6 lines are not much different from Wang Lin's side. At this time, Tianyun Sect pointed his right hand at Ling Tianho across the air, but accidentally slipped his finger, and when he finally fell, he actually pointed at the tens of thousands of disciples behind Ling Tianho. When Ling Tianho saw this, his old face sank, and he was about to step forward to stop him as soon as he moved, but at this moment, Tianyun Sect smiled slightly and said lightly, "It's okay." As soon as the voice fell, I saw a huge void in the entire sky. At the same time, the colorful light instantly spilled out, enveloping all the disciples of the Luo Jianzong, and then their bodies flew towards the void uncontrollably. Slowly. Seeing this, Ling Tianho knew that this was the set of the old boy Tianyun Sect. With a shout, the flying sword under his feet immediately flew out like lightning and went straight to the sky. However, Tianyun Sect smiled slightly, and as soon as the void was grasped, he held it directly in place. At this moment, a red light suddenly flew out of Ling Tianho's eyebrows, turned into a huge unicorn beast, roared, and rushed towards Tianyun Sect fiercely. At this moment, the main soul of the unicorn in Wang Linzuan's soul streamer also let out a roar. Although the sound did not come from the streamer, the unicorn beast that pounced on Tianyun Sect stopped, his fierce eyes showing unimaginable light, and he kept glancing in the surrounding crowd. Fortunately, Wang Lin ran the soul streamer at that moment and hid the traces of the remnant soul cleanly. Otherwise, if this unicorn beast finds out, there will definitely be a lot of trouble. At this time, this hidden immortal technique had completely exerted all its power, but seeing a phantom exuding a monstrous immortal aura, it appeared extremely majestic in the air. "I am the eternal illusory body of the messenger of the immortal underworld, and I am here to be the monk of the lower realm." After that, with a press of his big hand, a golden light flew out, instantly sealing all the void where the disciples of Daluo Jianzong were located. When the rest of the monks present saw this scene, their jaws almost fell to the ground in shock, but everyone was more puzzled and puzzled. You must know that the fairy realm has been shattered and no longer exists for some years. But why is there still a fairy king coming under the influence of this place? This technique is expensive and medium grade immortal technique. Is it really obtained by chance by Tianyun Sect when he abandoned the cultivation of the true star? But Jianzuan Ling Tianho didn't have time to guess here at this time, and directly clarified his words. "Old man Tianyun, the old man brought his disciples to celebrate your birthday. You actually shot my disciple directly regardless of your identity. Why do you mean this?" Seeing that Ling Tianho couldn't stop it, he simply took the sword and the unicorn beast directly back. He wanted to see what medicine was sold in the gourd of the old man of fortune. Wouldn't it be a good thing to let your disciples feel the wonderland of the year? At the moment they were talking, the tens of thousands of disciples of the great Luo Jianzong had completely disappeared. At this time, the sky also returned to its usual tranquility and azure. Although the old man has no offensive power in this medium-grade immortal technique, he can still take people away directly after the immortal realm is gone. As for where he went, the old man doesn't know. When Ling Tianho heard this, his beard almost stood up angrily on the spot. "You old guy don't even know where to go," so he picked up the disciples and grandchildren for me. However, when Tianyun said that he would come back by himself in 3 days, Ling Tianho stopped talking. He knew in his heart that as Tianyun, he would definitely not slap his old face in front of so many people. What he did was just to give himself an ugly look. This time, in addition to the longevity of the old man for 10,000 years, there is one more thing. I would like to ask all Taoist friends to bear witness that my Tianyun has a total of 7 series of disciples, of which only Huang and Zi have 2 series, and there is no one with the title of Tianyun. Today is the time when the title of the 7 sons of Tianyun was born among the disciples of these 2 lines. Huang Zong, a direct disciple, originally the third of them, was the winner of the title of the 7th son of Tianyun, but when he went out to the starry sky again 30 years ago, he mysteriously disappeared and there was no news. Just when everyone thought that the war was about to start, 4 people immediately chose to abstain. The remaining 2 people, one is Kunpengzi, who has been rewarded by Tianyun with middle-grade immortality, and the other is an old man who is as thin as an old ape. This person is Yundaozi. He has also been the 7th son of Tianyun for more than 800 years, but after he was captured, he was quite leisurely and had no desire to compete. In the end, he also chose to abstain and gave the title of the 7th son of Tianyun to Kunpengzi. But Ling Tianho, the sword lord on the side, moved the corner of his mouth, showing a trace of disdain. At this moment, a piece of yellow crystal flew out of Tianyun's eyebrows and landed in the palm of his hand. You must be no stranger to this thing, it is the title symbol of Tianyun Chizi. Retreat for several years, feel this power, and when you leave the customs, I will pass you another life-saving magic weapon. Kunpengzi took a deep breath. Until now, he still had the feeling of dreaming. You must know that every disciple of the yellow line has hidden his cultivation base. Once they compete, Kunpengzi has no way to completely win. Wang Lin watched this scene. His gaze left more on Yundaozi's body. After Yundaozi took out the yellow spar that day, Yundaozi's eyes shrank slightly imperceptibly. Although he recovered as before in an instant, there was a trace of fear just now. Inside, Yundaozi noticed Wang Lin's gaze and looked up, but the corners of his mouth showed a smile to him. The next step is when the title of 7 sons appeared among the disciples of my Tianyun subline. Wang Lin, Zhao Xinmen, by way, are you ready for the 3 of you?